Good morning, FBI graduates. My name is Juliane Sharir, or Julie, even though Papa Perez called me Jenny for a few weeks. Today I'm representing the nursing graduating class of spring 2024. It is an honor for me to be here representing this amazing group of nurses. 2 years ago, I was a 35-year-old single mom to an amazing 7-year-old boy. I had dropped out of college 15 years before and had no idea how to get my life back on track. I was working multiple jobs, living with my mom, and feeling like a hamster on a wheel. I had no clear direction, no purpose, and overall no stability and no future. One day, my son's school was hosting Career Day and had sent home a letter inviting parents to participate. I asked my son if he wanted me to come, and he said that Career Day was for people who loved what they did. I could take a hint. I didn't have a career. My jobs were just jobs, and although it may have been sufficient, I wanted my son to aspire for more. I wanted him to strive for a future where he felt valued and fulfilled. I wanted to be his role model. An older cousin of mine had just gotten her master's degree, and she encouraged me to go back to school and try again. I had always wanted to work in healthcare. Even in college, my majors were bio and psych. Nursing offered so many different opportunities that I knew it was the perfect way to start. I spent days looking up careers in healthcare, and everything pointed back to nursing. I could be a bedside nurse in a hospital in countless specialties. I could become a future professor. I could even be a self-employed contractor and have my own business. And all of this while helping people and making a difference. It just made sense. A career that encompasses everything me and my family needed. I looked up schools, called way too many, and visited 2 others. I had a lot of questions that I wasn't getting clear answers to or specifics. They treated school like it was meant only for people with no work or life commitments. I couldn't even get clear answers to simple questions like how many days of class are there per week, and what are the hours like? Another cousin of mine referred me to FBI. His wife had attended FBI for her medical assistant diploma and raved about how close-knit the school was. It wasn't a huge campus, but she insisted that the professors really cared about her success. I had already made countless phone calls to other schools and was always left waiting for calls back and was given a sour attitude, so one more phone call wasn't gonna hurt me. So I called, and it was Priscilla from admissions. I don't know where she is, but she's wonderful. She was one of the sweetest people I had ever spoken to. I had so many questions, and she had answers. FBI was checking all the boxes. I couldn't wait to come into the school. I got there, and the campus was small. But at least I knew I was never going to get lost on campus. And the great part was the school didn't make me feel small. Everyone made me feel like this was the school I had been looking for. We worked out all the details, and I was officially in nursing school. This was my plan A, plan B, and plan C. I hadn't attended school in a long while and was so nervous about how I would do. As we all know, nursing school is infamous for being difficult. But I was going to do well in school, no matter what, for my son and for myself. The flexibility of school from home was critical in maintaining my work and home responsibilities, and having time to transition into in-person schooling was something I really needed. We started prereqs online, and I started to get to know my classmates through online class discussions. Then, through our WhatsApp class chats, we'd talk about assignments and eventually personal things. But I had never met any of them in person. That was all going to change when we were about to start the nursing core curriculum, because that's in person. We had our core orientation, and it was so exciting. I knew all of their voices and some of their little pictures. I finally got to put a face to the voices. Little did I know how much we lean on each other for school life, home life, and everything in between. My classmates. Most of us spent the last 2+ years in this journey, and wow, have we been through so much together. Life in nursing school is anything but easy. School definitely lived up to the fame of being a tall mountain to climb and a really long walk to the bathroom. But we knew that we were about to take on when we started, and we chose to push ourselves anyways. Our hopes and dreams were pushing us. In the words of Victor Hugo, there is nothing like a dream to create the future. We had some amazing professors that made the impossibility of it all seem like a great time at school. They treated us like peers and like family, like everyone's Papa Perez. He would tell us, before asking what is the solution, ask what is the problem. We got to listen to music, even if it was to diagnose Juan Luis Guerra with hepatitis after listening to La Bilirrubina. Amazing professors that inspired us with their achievements at such a young age became role models for all of us. Clinical professors that taught us how to critically think in real-life scenarios. In our simulations, we got to experience triaging and the stress that would one day be entrusted in us with actual patient lives. Who could forget how many times we ended up killing Professor Alba in these simulations by not working through all the pieces of the puzzle? We left clinicals with real-life experience and a belly full of laughs. Our pharmacology class, where we began specialty training in neurology and became UTI experts, or in the final stretch when we were struggling and felt like there was nothing to hold on to, our Professor Reno's funny snap was the spark that brought us back. At one point, we all became convinced that we suffered from ADHD, but we persevered and kept on as a family. Our amazing clinical professor, Lynn, that inspired us to fall in love with mental health, she taught us how to care for the person behind the disease. She taught us how we practice therapeutic communication, empathy, learn to abstain from judgments, and self-preservation, all in one clinical setting. Who could forget our time with Villasuso and Kendall Regional and the way he inspired love for OB? We learned through real-life C-sections and natural births and spent time in the NICU. We performed chest compressions and manual ventilations during codes and inserted countless IVs and venipunctures on patients. Some of our clinical sites were emotionally painful, seeing kids that would never be able to kick a ball or talk to a friend, and still our clinical professors inspired happiness and hope. Med Math with June Sheriff was always fun, and I don't really know why. Daniela, somewhere here, our success coach, always made sure we had snacks while we poured our hearts out to her after exams. We hid from Luisa, the bursar's window, but man, she was great at what she did. Laura and her good morning smile made everything sunny and bright. Mario was the happiest man in the building, and it was contagious. And man, did I bother Yenny for everything techie, almost as much as I bothered Michelle for everything else. Patient, amazing Michelle, I'm sorry we drove you insane, but we appreciated you so much. Gretel, with her countless motivational speeches that pushed us to never give up. And Dr. Wawima was so tough, but we knew she believed in us. Classmates, it's been less than 2 months since some of us have seen each other, but I miss you guys. You became my school family. I feel like I know your family from the stories you've told, whether they live in Colombia or Louisiana, or you spent enviable amounts of time in the Keys with your family. We shared so much of our lives together. Some of you are crazy enough to do this while pregnant or raising kids, of which I know them too now. I miss our walks to Costco for lunch or our post-exam trips to the Marshall's clearance sections. We practiced therapeutic communication with each other and cried on shoulders and consulted each other for the most personal of advice. We spent our days studying and nights Zooming, studying some more, snacking, arguing, and making sure we stayed awake. We could have chosen not to and spared ourselves a lot of stress. But we wouldn't have gotten to this point where we came out as registered nurses, stronger than we ever knew we could be, and with degrees in our hands. Our best is not yet defined, and we pushed our limits. We thought we could, and we believed in ourselves and each other. The pressure was immense, but we didn't cave in. Instead, now we sparkle brighter. We couldn't have done any of this without our families and friends. We all needed someone to lean on, and we thank you for being those people for us. Thank you to the parents that gave us our first stethoscopes, the spouses that got flashcards and special nursing shoes, and the kids that were super excited to ask us about school, to amazing friends that hosted play dates for our kids and fed us so we could study without any worries. Your support and love helped us grow. You were there when we needed a rock to lean on. You were patient and supportive, and maybe a little confused as to why we were all so stressed all the time, but still you were there. For all the sons and daughters, know that you became our fuel. You motivated us to give it all we had, even if we thought our tanks were empty. We hope to make you proud, and we thank you for sticking with us through all of this. I was lucky enough that I had so much support and help from amazing people in my life. My son, Juliane, I live for your smile. I know this journey has been tough on you. I'm sorry. My busy schedule. My busy schedule and countless times studying was a hard change. But you were so excited to be the first one to know my grade on an exam. You listened in on Zoom study sessions, Picmonic and simple nursing videos, and my rantings about the things I had learned in school. Your curiosity and excitement were magical to me. My mom, Miriam, I couldn't have done any of this without you. How many times I couldn't take Juliane to school or pick him up. You were supportive and always made me feel like you knew I could do this, even when I didn't think I could. You were always ready to make sure I had everything I needed, and I'm lucky to be your baby. I had an amazing village of friends and family. Paola and Scott, you cared for me like family. You celebrated every grade and the end of semester, sometimes with balloons. You invited me to your home when I was exhausted from studying and needed a break. I will forever treasure the seat at the counter where you'd nurture me with food and jokes and became my therapist. You offered your home to my son on weekends when I couldn't be around to take him to fun outings or get-togethers, which was all the time. My brother Avi, I appreciate you even when I don't show it. My madrina, she has a heart of gold and always makes me want to be kinder. Mi abuela Nani, te quiero mucho. Kay, I could talk to you about anything, and you'd find an Instagram video to make everything feel better. I'm sorry. You're like the Jamaican sister I never had. Gigi, your lighthearted nature is a breath of fresh air, and you've welcomed us into your lives with open arms. Oh my gosh, I get a tissue. So in the words of Nelson Mandela, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. As we step into our roles as nurses, embrace your calling. You will be the hands that heal, the eyes that watch over, and the hearts that comfort. Don't be afraid, have hope. There is beauty in everything we experience. You just need to adjust your perception. You can either cry in the storm or dance in the rain. Keep the dedication and resilience that got you through nursing school. The world needs your strength and courage to push through times others may find hopeless. Believe in your ability to change lives because you will. People will know your name. Congratulations, class of spring 2024.